Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this conference call, Zoom call, if you will. And I'm just so excited to be participating with you tonight. My name is Tiffany Sullivan. I'm here in Pensacola, Florida, and my background is an attorney. I'm a practicing attorney, practiced law for 14 years full time before I ever found out about LegalShield. Shortly after finding out about LegalShield, I retired from the practice of law and joined LegalShield full time. And you'll hear there are two major reasons why I did that throughout my presentation. But the first part that I wanted to share with you is that one of the main reasons that I chose to close my practice after 14 years and join LegalShield full time was because when I was practicing law, most of the people who called my office or came into my office truly needed my help. They had a true legal need, but they couldn't afford to sit down and have a conversation with me, much less pay retainer, pay hourly rates. And so I knew that the system was broken, and I heard about LegalShield and I said, wow, this could really be a solution. This could be an answer. And so I went to a presentation, a live presentation, similar to what you're going to hear tonight. I heard all of the information. I'm going to share with you the information that I heard, but as a result of hearing that information, I knew that it was time for me to make a career change. So we'll just jump right in, and I want to talk to you tonight about LegalShield. All right, so LegalShield. Before we start about LegalShield, though, I want to talk to you about business models today that are working, the business models that are making it, that are really taking over their industry. And they all have similar things in common. They're simple, disruptive, noble. They're not easily duplicated, and they have an app. If you notice, everybody walks around with their cell phones in front of their face all the time. And anytime somebody wants to share some information with you, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, hey, let me show you this app. But let's look at a couple of examples. Taxi cab industry. Well, we don't see many of those around anymore, do we? And the reason for that is because there was another company that came along and said, hey, we still need transportation, but the way taxi cab services is delivering the transportation is a little bit broken and antiquated. So let's do something about that. And they created this, basically an app in the palm of your hand where you can press a button. You don't have to worry about figuring out where you are, much less telling the driver where you are. You don't have to worry about what it's going to cost, whether or not you have cash. Everything is handled right there in the palm of your hand. Here's another business that had a great idea as far as movie rentals goes. Entertainment's important to us, but there was another company that came along and said there has to be a better way. And that was Netflix. Netflix disrupted, made it simpler, easier, and more affordable to get a movie right from the palm of your hand in the comfort of your home. No more standing in line at Blockbuster, no more late fees, rewind fees, and expensive trips to the movie store to get a movie that you really didn't want anyway because the ones you wanted was sold out, right? And so Netflix really changed the game. Here's another one. This is a bookstore. Doesn't look very familiar because we don't see many of them these days because a company came along and said, there's an easier way, quicker, simpler, more affordable way to get a book on your phone. But then Amazon took it a step further and basically disrupted the shopping industry. Now you can order anything that you need from the palm of your hand and have it delivered to your home, oftentimes the very next day, changing the way people shop, changing the way people access groceries, home goods, yard tools, everything. And finally, we have this camera, large camera with film that you used to have to take to the store, have it delivered, hope that the pictures turned out the way you wanted, but you didn't find out till a week later when they came back. This company came along and disrupted that. They changed everything for the film industry and frankly for the way we share photos, because with this app you can take a photograph, immediately alter it to make it look the way you want it to look, and send it out to everyone in your family within a matter of minutes. Well, why are we talking about those businesses? The reason is because with all of those businesses, a different business came along and solved a problem. Didn't change the actual service or product, but changed the delivery of the service and product. And that is exactly what LegalShield has done for the legal industry. They recognize that the legal industry has several problems: too expensive, unresponsive, and unaccountable. No one wants to hire an attorney these days because of the cost involved. You're looking at anywhere from $250 to $550, depending on where you live and what kind of attorney you need. And even when you pay that amount, if you're one of the lucky few that can afford it, you don't know if you're going to get the responsiveness that you expect and deserve from the money that you spent. Well, LegalShield came along and changed that with disruptive innovation through an app in the palm of your hand. They've made the access, not changed the legal system, changed access, made it simpler, easier, and more affordable. Our company's been around since 1972. We currently cover over 4.5 million lives. We have law firms in all 50 states and 4 provinces of Canada. And as you can see down there, we have a lot of companies that are fans of ours. We're getting a lot of great reviews around the world. All right, what's our purpose? To protect and empower people. And a lot of times people will say to me, well, Tiffany, I don't use lawyers. Why would I need a membership like this? I don't use lawyers. Lawyers are for people that, commit crimes and things like that. And that's really just not the case. We use lawyers every single day. We use lawyers for everyday situations. The problem is we don't recognize it as using lawyers because we're not using our own. We're using someone else. So basically what I mean is if you've ever signed a contract or been overcharged or treated unfairly, received a traffic ticket, been involved in a real estate transaction, someone was preparing legal documents in those situations. And if you didn't have your own attorney, then you were using someone else's attorney that was paid to protect them. So LegalShield is important for everyday situations where you can just call into your law firm and ask questions about everyday situations that you face. So let's jump into the app really quick. This is what it looks like. And that first button there that's circled is call your law firm. And basically what that means is you can call your law firm anytime, ask them any question, and you're not going to receive a bill for that. So it's unlimited advice on an unlimited number of issues. Now, this could be something as simple as, Mr. Lawyer, my neighbor's dog barked all night long. What are my rights? What can I do next? Something you would never, ever call an attorney about and outside of this membership because it would be way too expensive to ask a question like that. But it also can be something as traumatic as, I was arrested this weekend for a crime I didn't commit. So we call that trivial to the traumatic. But the bottom line is this: you never have to go another day without knowing your legal rights on any situation, because with this button, you can call in and ask the attorney any question, anytime. So here's the thing that I'd like to share with you. When I was practicing law, I would charge people $250 for consultations, and I would give them an hour. So when a person would come in and give me $250 to spend 1 hour with me to talk about one issue. If I told you for less than $1 a day that you could have this one button, forget everything else that's on there, this one button where you could have unlimited consultations on an unlimited number of issues, would you agree with me that less than $1 a day just makes sense for that? I tell you what, you're paying more than $1 a day to go in and speak to one attorney for 1 hour on one subject. So to me, it just makes sense. But there's so much more to this membership. When you do call in, if the attorney thinks they can write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf to resolve your situation, they're going to do that for you. So if they can write that neighbor a letter and let them know that the dog barking all night is violating some city ordinance or something, they're going to do that for you. And that's a part of your membership. You don't pay for that. They review contracts and documents. And goodness, we've all signed documents that we later regretted. Those gym memberships, cell phone contracts, marriage certificates, the fine print takes away every time. So have your attorney review those contracts before you sign them next time. Again, you see a few other things here: IRS audit assistance, civil trial defense. The list goes on. Lots of services provided to you through this one simple button. But that's just the beginning. Call your law firm and then snap speeding ticket. What is this about? So basically, if you get a speeding ticket or a moving violation and drugs or alcohol were not involved, you can literally take a photograph of your ticket on your smartphone, send it into the law firm, and you're going to have a consultation with an attorney within 8 business hours. The attorney is going to, if they believe that the ticket is defendable, go to court for you to keep those points off your record. Now, sometimes you're going to have to pay the actual fine, or sometimes you have to pay the court costs, but the goal of the attorney is to keep the points off your record. Why is that important? We already pay way too much for car insurance. Every time we get a speeding ticket and points are assessed, our insurance rates go up. So this feature right here keeps your insurance rates down. Next, we have will preparation, but not just your will. This is a total estate planning package. You get your will, your living will, your healthcare power of attorney, and your durable power of attorney fully covered, no out-of-pocket expenses to you the minute you sign up for this membership. This is just huge. When I was practicing law, I would charge an individual $1,000 flat fee for those 4 documents, and I would charge a married couple $3,000 for those documents. With this membership, you get all of those documents for you and your spouse or significant other at no additional charge. So you're front loading your benefit by $1,000 to $3,000 immediately. You can fill out a will questionnaire on paper, or you can do it right from the palm of your hand. We also do intake for divorce, prenuptial agreements, and personal bankruptcy matters. We also have emergency access. What is this? This is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you feel like your rights or civil liberties are being violated in any way, if you're being questioned or detained by law enforcement, you can press this button and you can be on the phone with an attorney within minutes, regardless if it's 12 o'clock midnight or 8 o'clock on Christmas morning. So you have 24-hour emergency access. To me, this is a huge deal, because even for the richest of the rich out there who have the ability to hire an attorney when needed, they don't have an attorney on speed dial 24 hours, 7 days a week. So this is a big deal to provide you with the protection that you need at all hours and times of the day. We also handle contingency fee cases. They get paid when they collect, and that's up to each individual law firm, but we provide those types of protections. And we offer 25% member discount for everything else. So what exactly does that mean? What that means is you will never, ever pay full price for an attorney again. So the things that I've talked about earlier as being fully covered under your membership means no out-of-pocket expenses to you. For everything else, your worst case scenario is a 25% discount off of an attorney that you've already decided is costing too much anyway. So if you, heaven forbid, do get a DUI, or you decide to file for bankruptcy, and that attorney is going to require, a $5,000 retainer, 25% off of $5,000 is a big deal. Finally, we have members perks, and this is how you're going to pay for your membership. The membership is very affordable at less than $1 a day, but this is how you're going to pay for your membership and put money back in your pocket. Our company partners with over 400 vendors, the vendors that you're already spending your money with anyway, the places you go to shop, the places you travel to, the restaurants that you eat at, the online businesses that you buy from. Provide discounts simply because you're a member of LegalShield. With those perks alone, my family and I save at least $100 after we've already paid for our membership. Significant discounts. If it was not for anything but members perks, I wouldn't be without this membership, because I save so much money every month just because I have it. Who's covered? You and your spouse or significant other, children up to the age of 26, as long as they're not married or still living at home, fully enrolled in college. Basically, you can see here, it's your whole family. Your whole family is covered under this membership at less than $1 a day. So which would you choose? I've already told you, for one consultation with one attorney on one issue, you're going to pay at least $250 an hour. Or with the LegalShield membership, you have access to attorneys across the United States on an unlimited number of issues for about $1 a day. To me, it's a no-brainer. LegalShield is the clear answer. All right, so let's move right along to our second area of protection. This is identity theft. I don't usually spend a lot of time here simply because I know that everybody knows what identity theft is, because you see it on the television every day. You see it on the news. Every single day, there's either a new identity breach, or we find out that one that we knew about before just got a little bit worse. And so the big thing about identity theft is you need to understand is criminals don't want your money. So people will say to me a lot of times, well, Tiffany, my credit score is really bad and I don't have money in the bank. So if someone steals my identity, the joke is on them. Well, that's not necessarily true. If some financial identity theft is only about 17% of what makes up identity theft cases, the remaining percentage, 83%, is based on someone taking your identity and doing something in your name that you would not want them to do. For instance, I cover a school district here locally, and I had a teacher leave school, driving home, get pulled over for speeding. Officer looks at his driver's license and registration, comes back, puts the teacher under arrest for auto theft in Montana. The teacher had never been to Montana, never stolen a car. Someone had stolen his identity, created their own driver's license with my teacher's information, and their picture was stealing and selling cars. They get caught, and they give the driver's license, post bond, and never come back, because when the warrant is issued, it was issued for my teacher here in Pensacola. That kind of thing is happening all the time. I did an enrollment today where a man raised his hand and said he had just applied for a job, couldn't get the job because his record came back showing that he was in jail in Miami for murder charges. Never been to Miami, clearly hadn't killed anyone. So it's a big problem. And I can say that I bet you would much rather have someone steal your debit card and spend a little money knowing that your bank is ultimately responsible than to steal your identity and go commit a crime in your name. So it's a big problem, but we have the solution again in the form of an app. We monitor everything about your identity and we send you alerts if anything looks suspicious. But the thing that we do that changes our company from any other company that does this is that we do full restoration. In the event that you find out that your identity's been stolen, our company is made up of licensed private investigators. You will have a private investigator assigned to your account to your situation that will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity. And that is just a big deal because it's a scary world that we live in when people can commit a crime in your name and you're basically guilty until you prove yourself innocent in that case. But in this instance, if you have the protection of LegalShield, you don't have to have that fear and you don't have to bog yourself down with all of the steps involved in trying to correct that kind of situation because our investigators are going to do the work for you and they back it with a $5 million service guarantee. And then we also have LegalShield Vault, which is basically a password protector. It protects all of your passwords, keeps them scrambled all the time. It's military grade. So you don't have to worry about somebody being able to get your passwords. So no longer do you have to keep all your passwords hidden in a secret Word file somewhere because we have to change those passwords all the time. We forget them. We're constantly resetting them. With the Vault, you put it in the Vault and you leave it there and it's protected and you use one password to get into the Vault. So we have the two levels of protection, the LegalShield and the LegalShield in the palm of your hand for $49.90. If you're a family, that's $24.95 each for the memberships. If you're an individual, it's only going to be $34.90 because the LegalShield for the individual is only $9.95. So let's take a look for a minute at how we make money. So I told you that whenever I decided to close my law practice to join LegalShield full time, I did that because I wanted to help people. I knew that people couldn't afford to hire attorneys. They needed the help of an attorney, and it just made sense to me. At the time, I didn't even understand the compensation plan. I just knew that it made sense and people needed to hear about it. But it didn't take me very long to figure out that our compensation plan is unbelievable. And so how exactly do we make money? Well, it's word of mouth marketing and team building. I showed you the apps, and it's very similar to other companies who have apps. But with Facebook, you share Facebook. Most of you probably found out about Facebook because a friend told you, hey, you need to join, send me a friend request. There was no payment involved in sharing that information. Now, Uber does have the ability to pay in credits for shares. So basically, I tell you about Uber, you download the app, you use it, I get a credit, and you get a credit. But they don't pay in dollars, and Uber credits don't pay your bills. The cool thing about LegalShield is we do the exact same thing. We basically share the app with someone, and when they download it and activate it, we get paid. And we get paid anywhere from $60 to $280 every time someone activates the app. So let's look at this. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this compensation plan. I'm going to go over it quickly, but the person that invited you to this call can give you some more detailed information. But basically it works like this. If you're an associate, you're brand new to the company, and you sell that $49.90 family plan, family legal and family LegalShield, you're going to get an advance commission of $60. And then if you do that 6 times, cover 6 families, or 3 times, when you cover 3 families and get one of them to sign up and join your team to do the same thing, you get your first rank advance to senior associate. And look at that. Your commission automatically doubles for selling the exact same plan. You can see each time you advance, meaning you sell more memberships, your pay increases for that same plan. And these numbers of families covered, by the way, are not families that you've covered on your own. These are families that you've covered with your team. Remember down here when you got one to join you? Well, if you get 1, 2, 3, or 4 people to join you, you get to count these families, the families that they cover, as your numbers for your rank advancement. So this is not all on your own. This is what you and your team do. And each time you advance to one of these levels, you stay there. You never get demoted. So if you advance to manager and decide to take a vacation, take some time off, when you come back, you're still going to be manager. You pick right back up where you left off. There's no monthly quota with any of these levels. You reach the number, you advance, you stay there until you reach the next number. Then we have 2 more qualifying positions that are monthly qualifiers, meaning once you reach the director level, if you're able, along with your team, to sell 25 a month, you'll be senior director for the following month. 50 a month, you're executive director. And so one of the things that I learned very quickly about LegalShield and I loved is that with regular jobs, nothing wrong with regular jobs, we all need them, but we typically go to work and either punch a time clock or on a salary, but basically we trade our time and our energy and our efforts for money. And that's called personal income. And LegalShield does the same thing. So when I work hard and I sell a membership, I get paid. Depending on where I'm at on this rank, I get paid a different amount. But basically, I'm trading my efforts for money. And that's cool. But LegalShield pays you in several other ways too. And that's what we're going to go over next. LegalShield's second way of paying you is through team overrides. And we pay that on what we call a differential override compensation plan. Basically, what that means is big words put together. It means this. When you bring someone on as an associate under you and they sell a plan where, say they're associate, and you're a senior manager, you get the difference in compensation. So you get the difference in these levels, 20, 40, 60. So it's cumulative. So you get all $60. But look at this. If you're executive director and your associate sells that same plan, they get $60. So they're super happy. You get all of these numbers together, which equal $180. You may or may not have even been present when your associate sold that plan. It could be that your associate just signed up and the first thing they did was call mom and dad and say, hey, mom and dad, you know that will that you've been wanting to get for so long. Well, let me show you how you can do it. Mom and dad sign up because they do want a will, but also they want to support their child. Child makes $60, super thrilled. You make $180 in your checking account for a sale that somebody else made. I like this passive income. But LegalShield doesn't stop there. They have other sources of income. We call them bonuses. And so in addition to the commission money that you get paid for reaching these various levels, if you do so within a certain amount of time, you're going to get bonus money. Now, we don't make you do anything within a certain amount of time, but we realize that success loves speed. And so if you get to that first level within 20 days, you're going to get an extra $180. If you get to executive director level and you stay there for 3 months, you're going to get $5,000 in your checking account the next day. And there are other bonuses and incentives as well. So get with the person that invited you and find out more about that. This slide just shows you basically your job. You go to work every year, year after year, and you work for yourself. Year 1, it's just you. Year 2, it's just you. Year 3, it's just you. And basically what this means is this. If you get hurt and you're unable to go to your job, you are your only source of income. That's that direct income. You're your only source of income, so your income would stop. But our bills continue to come. We have residual bills, so we need other sources of income. Well, LegalShield shows you how you can build a team. So the first year you go out and just get 5 people to join you on your team and help you sell LegalShield. And you teach them how to do the exact same thing so that year 2, they've each got 5. And year 3, and you see how that accumulates so that by year 5, you would have over 3,000 associates on your team. Well, we all know that 95% of the people do nothing and 5% do everything. So let's just assume that only 5% of those 3,000 do anything. And those 5% are going to do the bare minimum. They're just going to sell 1 membership a month. That's 150 memberships for your organization. You would be executive director with those numbers. So that's an override income of $7,500 a month. That's minimum amount of people doing a minimum amount of work, and you're selling nothing. This is just your override income, $7,500 a month. I don't know about you, but I would love to get $7,500 a month for efforts that I didn't put out whatsoever that my team did. We do performance club trips, basically incentive trips for a year. You have an opportunity to win trips up to 4 a year. Every 3 months, you get to start over and start working on another trip. Residual income. Remember I said if you couldn't work and you weren't making any money, your bills would come anyway. When you retire, your bills continue to come. Your bills are residual, so why not have a residual stream of income? LegalShield offers that every month starting after the first year that your member pays their membership fee. You get a percentage of that for the life of the membership. So you get paid for the lifetime of that membership based on 1 sale that you made. It just makes so much sense. How much is it to get started with your LegalShield business? It's just a $99 processing fee. And their goal is to get you paid and promoted. Just like I said earlier, we protect 3 families and recruit 1, or protect 6 families, and you do that within 20 days. Not only do you get $180 in commission, but they're going to give you an additional $180 in bonus money, making you $360 within your first 20 days. And a lot of people that join our company are doing that within just a few days. We have all the tools that you could possibly need available to you to do your business. You don't have to worry about recreating the will. You don't have to worry about startup materials. Literally, this is a business that you walk into. It is already created for you. Everything's available to you, and you have the support of hundreds that have come before you that have been tremendously successful in this business. We also have LegalShield Advantages, which is basically your overhead. Your only overhead expense is $19.95 a month. It's optional, but I tell the people that join my team it's not, because there's simply no way to run your business without it. But it gives you the ability to literally run your business from anywhere, from your app in the palm of your hand. It includes an enhanced back office for you to do your trainings, an enhanced website for people to go to and sign up, and it also has this client management system, Prospect by LegalShield, that contains every resource that you could possibly want to send out to a prospect right there in the palm of your hand. We have a proven track record. This is a company that's been in business for over 40 years, but just now coming onto the scene with the apps, and it has really propelled us into tremendous success. We have over 400 people in our company that have earned more than $100,000 a year. We have 200 plus that earned over $50,000 a year, 230 people that are our millionaire club members, which means they've made $1 million in this business. And we've paid over $1 billion in commissions in just the last 10 years alone. So why are people starting this LegalShield business? There are a lot of different reasons for it. I know that some people really understand the value of the residual income. For me, that made a big deal because I don't want to spend all of my time working. I don't want to work forever. I want to have a source of income when I'm ready to slow down and enjoy life. Tax advantages of owning a business, flexibility and control of your time and schedule. I told you when we first got started that there were two major reasons why I decided to join LegalShield. The first was because I wanted to help people have access to the judicial system. The second was this: as an attorney, I was able to help some people, the ones that could afford it, and I made really good money. But my schedule was 100% controlled by a court docket and a deposition schedule. I have children. I have a 13-year-old and 11-year-old, and I missed a lot of field trips. I missed a lot of school plays, parent-teacher conferences, because I couldn't tell a judge, I'm sorry, I can't be in court today because I'm going on a field trip. Since I joined LegalShield, it took me about 3 months to replace my income, and I have never looked back. So I make more money now with LegalShield than I did as an attorney, and I do that working my own schedule. Since joining LegalShield, I've not missed a single field trip. I have not missed a single play. I've not missed a single after-school event. I am the mother that my kids deserve and expect, but I'm also able to maintain a lifestyle that I deserve and expect. And so there are a lot of different reasons for joining LegalShield, living life on your own terms. So definitely get back with the person that invited you to this meeting. I'm sorry, let's recap. So the world's largest taxi company owns no vehicles. The leading movie rental company owns no retail stores. The most popular media provider creates no content. The largest overnight accommodation provider owns no hotels. Now I ask you this: what if any one of these companies had come to you when they were first getting started and said, hey, I'm going to launch this? You know, what if Uber said, hey, we're going to take over the taxi cab industry? Or Netflix said, hey, we're going to shut down all blockbusters. We're just going to give access in the palm of your hand. We just want you to invest and join us. Would you have done that? Not hindsight 2020, but at that time, would you have done that? Probably not. But now looking back, you would do anything to have the opportunity to get in on the front end of one of these businesses. Well, I'm telling you now, you do have that same opportunity, because this is the next big thing. And LegalShield will be a household name in just a few years, and you have the opportunity to join us now, become a part of a very noble cause, giving people access to the judicial system and protection from the fastest growing crime in the United States, and getting paid very well to do it. So action steps: get with the person that invited you, tell them you want to become a member, because it just makes sense. It's less than $1 a day to protect yourself and your family. And you're going to tell people about this app anyway. You're going to show it to them. You're going to share them with them. Why not get paid to do it? So go ahead and get signed up as an associate, get trained, and let the person that signed you up help you get paid and promoted. Next week, we're going to come back, same place, same time, same link, And the speaker next week is incredible. He is only 20 years old. He is a college dropout, and he has already received advanced through all the ranks of our company and sits at the highest level of the company at Platinum Executive Director, has earned over $50,000 in a 12-month period, and he's only been in the business for less than 2 years. And his name's Benjamin Notini, and he'll be back with you next week to provide the similar information and a little bit about his background. So I thank you very much.